Hey guys, Tom itself here. I know I normally post FPS gameplay on this channel, but as you might have guessed by my absence over the last couple days, I've been playing some Guild Wars 2, and so I thought I'd share a few thoughts. I really don't know how much Guild Wars 2 footage I'm going to post on the channel, just because I don't want to post random stuff of me running around. I actually want to make it interesting and topical, and kind of a short summary, because obviously tons of hours can get put in this game, and I don't want to bore you with it. So we'll try to keep it short and to the point. At this point, it sort of feels like I've been playing the same kind of modern military shooter for something like 5 years now, with Call of Duty, Homefront, Battlefield, and yeah, they have their own different take on the same idea, but there's not a huge difference between any of those games, let's be honest here. Everybody has their own flavor they like, but it's still a modern military shooter, and so this is quite a change of pace. Now, I did play a lot of Guild Wars 1, and so I'm going to make a lot of references back to that, just as comparison, because I'm still just barely dabbling into Guild Wars 2, even with more hours than I would like to admit already put into it. I need to say that I don't think of myself as an RPG player. That's not something. I'm more interested in the FPS, the real-time strategy. The whole idea of having levels and gear being important doesn't appeal to me. And that's one of the reasons why I kind of like Guild Wars both 1 and 2, because when you get into hardcore player versus player competitive stuff, it's not about gear or levels, it's about skill. I just get that out of the way. That is one of the things that really appeals to me about this game, even though I've played mostly the campaign and the whole PvE at this point. Now that said, in order to make it interesting, the skill ceiling, even as an individual player, is very high, just because all the different situations you can find yourself in and how you need to respond appropriately. And it's not just about individual play either. There's a level of teamwork, especially in Guild Wars 1, that, I mean, you look at a game like Battlefield, it says, ooh, teamwork, and no, they never even get close to what's required in a game like Guild Wars 1, the hardcore PvP stuff. It's absolutely amazing. And synergy, I guess it's a buzzword, but that's the way to go. Now, I posted a video in Alliance Battles, which is fairly casual PvP, I guess we're going to call it. But still, even with just 4 of us running around, there's a level of synergy there in the strategy we're using and the setup that is really quite impressive to me, and is one of the things I really enjoy about Guild Wars 1, and hopefully we're going to find some more of it in Guild Wars 2. And now, in Guild Wars 1, everything took place in instances. It was very much not an MMO in that sense. But, well, actually, you could design so many games to be like that, just because it was a zone, and you brought in so many people, and off you go and do whatever you're going to do in that zone, and you come back to a major town, which acts actually like an MMO town, where everybody's wandering around. So you would make an FPS game, in that sense, that would be an MMO FPS game. So, Grim Beetle was talking about, it's like, yeah, actually, that makes a lot of sense. The thing they do really well is they make the maps connect, and the themes and the enemies flow from one area to the next, so it doesn't feel like just a bunch of random zones tacked together. That's actually one of the more impressive things I didn't even think about until we started bringing up, well, you can make any game like that. And it's like, well, actually the reason Guild Wars does it so well is because it doesn't feel like just another random zone tacked on. You feel like there's a good transition from one to the next, even though it's a completely different instance. Kind of impressive. What that meant, you would always go into a zone with the maximum number of players allowed, and if you were smart, you'd figure out your roles ahead of time, and you'd all stick together as you tried to work your way through the instance. In Guild Wars 2, with the big open maps, you could have hundreds of players in an instance. It's more MMO in that sense. You could often myself wandering around solo a lot of the time, and so that I don't need to be doing that teamwork thing 100% of the time. Okay, yeah, you could go do some specialized stuff and you could get around solo otherwise, but that it's, you're okay running around solo right now is one of the biggest questions I have about Guild Wars 2, in the sense of how do they bring that required level of teamwork back. You really see the level of synergy, and you see things like combos and whatnot. And they said the whole tanking thing, not really there. Yeah, you can have someone who's got some more armor, some more HP, but in general, you see a big attack coming, you get out of the way because it's going to hurt. There's more on this general Guild Wars 2 stuff if you look around, but it's quite the change, and I'm really looking to see where this teamwork element comes back into Guild Wars 2. And I've also got a little footage from some Guild Wars 1 as we're playing together as a team. And what ended up happening, at least in PvE, the campaign, the story mode, is that they said, alright, there's some stuff that's kind of unbalanced because you can get a certain level of synergy between the skills and classes and whatnot, and it becomes ridiculous. And instead of trying to just completely take that out of the PvE section, that they changed things around so PvP was more balanced. But in PvE, they were like, do it, fine, whatever, do whatever you want, and come up with the most insane, crazy, overpowered nonsense to make the game easy mode. So, yes, there were some things that wound up just being completely ridiculous and overpowered, and as everyone works their way through the first version of the game, the first balanced version, we're going to find lots of crazy stuff, and it's kind of a race to see what is the most overpowered thing you can possibly come up with. You know, having a dozen assassins walking around, I don't think you're supposed to actually be able to do that. That was not intended. Yeah. It's one of those things, it's just, okay, we're trying to find the most crazy over because it's going to be awesome, and then they're going to nerf it. So, that's kind of where we are right now with Guild Wars 2. Alright, so let's wrap this up. I'll probably do another Guild Wars 2 update at some point. As far as the occasional video, I really don't know. Let me know what you guys think, what you'd want to see. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.